Hello, Jets fans. You just got a new head coach. It is Aaron Glenn, who is coming back home to become the next New York Jets head coach. Let's get to know him. Aaron Glenn, as a player, was drafted by the New York Jets back in 1994 to 2001. Spent his years with Houston 2002 to 2004, in Dallas 2005 to 2006, Jacksonville in 2007, and then in New Orleans in 2008. In that final years, he went as to become the general manager of the Houston Stallions, who, if you know, the Houston Stallions, they're the UFL program back in 2011. He was a GM there in 2012, and then he came back to New York with the Jets as a personal scout back in 2012 to 2013. But then the coaching began in Cleveland as an assistant D-backs coach in 2014 to 2015. Before then, he took the Saints defensive backs coach back in 2016 to 2020 and the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator in 2021 to 2024. This hire is, I think, to say, the best hire of the coaching cycle. You can say, oh, Ben Johnson's got the Bears job. That's the best hire. Is it? Because think about it. Not Trent Baalke, sorry. I got over the thinking of the short video. If you have not checked the short video of Trent Baalke parted ways from the Jaguars, go ahead and check that out. Aaron Glenn, back in New York, is the best hire. He knows the organization. He knows Woody Johnson. And he's going to come back home where he's a brilliant coach. Brilliant coach, of course. Now, we knew this since yesterday. Yesterday, there was an earlier report that the Jets interviewed Aaron Glenn, but they were hoping to have him in New York to make the deal done. However, he left the building to have some thinking. He returned to Detroit on that day. And now today, it's official. The New York Jets are hiring former Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn to become their next head coach. So what's next for Aaron Glenn? Well, he's a defensive-minded coach. He's going to be focusing on the defense, but he's also going to look to hire an offensive coordinator in the mix too. Now, it is going to be hard to find it because, yes, you've got questions on Aaron Rodgers, if he's going to return to New York. Are you going to bring a quarterback in the mix for the Jets? Aaron Glenn is going to be focusing on all that, but the Jets organization will also be focusing on is the GM job, which will hopefully get that, assuming we're going to hear a GM hire for the Jets maybe next week or some coming this week. But back to Aaron Glenn. He will focus on the defense, but also focusing on hiring a offensive coordinator, which would make sense too. Now, early reports were said that if Aaron Glenn gets hired as the Jets head coach, there are some links that Steve Wilks, the former 49ers defensive coordinator, could be heading to New York and become the Jets defensive coordinator. If that happens, that would be another good hire for Aaron Glenn and the Jets. Because, yes, you know Steve Wilks, of course, who was the Panthers defensive coordinator, took the Cardinals head coaching job, before then came back to Carolina as an interim head coach who had a great year as an interim head coach. Goes to San Francisco, defensive coordinator. He gets fired for tough reasons why. But this would be a great move if Aaron Glenn does make a move for Steve Wilks to be the defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator is going to be a bit interesting because, again, that's what the main focus would be about. Who is going to be calling the plays for Aaron Rodgers or whoever they bring in at quarterback. There's guys in the list. Luke Getsy's one. Clint Kubiak. Not sure if they're going to keep Nathaniel Hackett, which I don't think the Jets fans are going to want that to happen. If I were looking the outside of those names, I would look at Scotty Morgan, the running backs coach. He's one of those candidates to become an offensive coordinator. So that is something that we could be hearing about. But overall, the big news is the New York Jets have hired Aaron Glenn to become their next head coach. If you have not seen, the Raiders have hired a new GM, John Spike. Get to know him in my video. And if you've not seen the Ben Johnson hire, go and check that out in my channel. Get to know him and what do you think my grade should be on this hire. Again, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.